did it.
Sega! Anyway, guys. From Jonah's random Sega.
Can you tell what we're going to talk about yet?
You're fired for that outburst, mister.
We're going to be talking about the Sega Mega Mini that just came out, and or the Sega Genesis Flashback HD, or the Sega Genesis Flashback 7.
Sega Mega Drive Flashback 7 HD.
That's true. That also. So anyway.
So if it doesn't turn into Megatron, we turn it back? Because that's
false advertisement.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes.
What you just said was amazing.
If it does turn into Megatron, then we're all in trouble.
No, I'm happy. What happened?
Are you an Autobot or a Decepticon?
I
have to know right now, this moment here.
We're of a new united
team.
I
have to know.
Well, I'm an Autobot because I got the shirt, but today I'm wearing Star Wars.
Well, that's an enemy of the Enterprise.
What? Oh, God.
So anyway, guys, back on topic.
Transformers.
So apparently, this Sega Mini, if you will, not by Sega, but it's a company called At Games that produces it. Every year they come out with this flashback series.
They've done Atari flashbacks.
They've done Atari, but this time they are in HD, actually. So, and if you look at the box, it looks just like the Sega Mega Drive, which is pretty much the Sega Genesis 1, and
the Sega Genesis Megatron.
Yes,
is what you just said.
Exactly. So, but apparently, according to reviews, it's a piece of garbage. Terrible.
I played it myself.
Now, Jonah,
I didn't play it myself.
Why is it terrible?
So, the only good thing you can really say about it is it got HDMI, which the other Sega classics have not had.
Yeah, but I thought you just said it wasn't HD though.
It is HD.
Yeah, but
who said it
what
wasn't
good
HD?
is HD? It is HD.
Okay,
so
that's what
it's in the name HD.
Yeah, Sega Genesis Flashback HD.
Well, I was going to say, why is it in the name if it's not HD? But I thought I misheard.
It has HDMI cable. You might be thinking about before when I said that the old one didn't have an HDMI slot, so it was standard.
So you got to learn to listen to.
But
I was listening off camera.
But another thing, it has 85 games. That's what they say. Only 45 of them are Sega games, like Sega Genesis games. A bunch of them are new. They're not official games, I think, not licensed by Sega.
And the rest are all just bonus games.
Yeah,
bonus games and or the handheld version of the games. So the Game Gear. And I mean, to me, that's fine, but the Game Gear games aren't that really good that they put on here.
How can you say that Game Gear games are HD though?
Well, they make them HD.
It's like, you know how Xbox One X can upscale?
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of how it is.
They're emulation.
Oh.
They're not, it's not like they're actually putting the cartridge in.
Yeah, it is emulation.
Oh,
and it's poor emulation. Apparently every one of these games, I'm taking this from a GameSpot article.
He's taking it from his own sources.
Yeah. All these games have issues with frame rates because of poor emulation.
So they take a hit in frame rate for the HD quality?
No, I think it's just
emulation.
The hardware itself.
Oh, really? So the damn thing can't get out of its own way. In other words,
and I guess this is kind of a downer for a console that's one of its main selling points is Sonic, which is gotta go fast.
Well, yeah.
Does it even have a Sonic game on here?
It has most of the Sonic games. It does not have Sonic 3, which is ridiculous.
But I feel like Sega does this every now and again where they release a bunch of bullshit and then they give a game, they have a game.
HD bullshit this time.
HD bullshit.
But I mean, don't they they give the collectors games and stuff? They put a collection on a disc for, I don't know.
This right here.
Yeah.
And this is actually this is for to compare it because you're looking at something that's $80 or so. $70 now that no one's buying it. But
it's because it's a console, sort of.
Yeah, so this here, you're not getting Streets of Rage. You're not getting, what else?
Are you getting Battle Axe?
Golden Axe?
Golden Axe.
I think this one has all the Golden Axe.
This has all the Golden Axes. The Mini has all the Golden Axes. However, there's no Streets of Rage.
Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is
Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection for the PS3.
This has most of the games that you're going to ever want to play for Genesis. HD, runs flawlessly.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I think I bought this for $14 on Amazon.
It's 2-player.
Now, not everyone's going to have a PS3. I get that. But just comparing to something that that actually works versus something that they're advertising as something that's great.
And most of these games, like the ones that are not official, like Genesis titles, the ones that are on the console, not this.
Yeah.
They might have like 85 games. I don't know how much this has, but...
This one only has 40.
But these 85 games, a lot of them are padding. Like, just for the number 85. A lot of them is stuff you're not going to want to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be a waste of time if you ever even try to play them.
Now, this is obviously released to kind of compete or kind of jump on the whole mini bandwagon.
For what I think is they're banking on nobody being able to get an SNES Classic, or at least the non-hardcore people not being able to.
So they're going to twitch over.
Yeah. So for Christmas, parents want to get their kid an SNES Classic. They can't do it.
So Sega does.
Guess what's there?
So once again, Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
But however, the thing is,
See what you did there.
if parents go into this and look at it, they're gonna see it, and it looks just like a Sega system. The box is blue. It looks like an official Sega license too. It's not. It's just some sort of cheap knockoff. Speaking of cheap too, the controllers, you were saying there were AAA batteries.
Right. Yeah. They're AAA batteries. You can't recharge them. And if you want access to batteries to change them, you have to unscrew it. It has a screw in the back. So you can't just like clip it off and on.
Now, the only good thing about this system, I mean, there's probably some games.
Well, Jonah pointed out it's an HDMI cable.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. That's like the best part right there.
Yeah, and I guess some people would like the fact that it has like the cartridge slots.
You can put it in cartridges,
and I think you can use old Genesis controllers. I'm not sure.
So you can plug them in.
Wired ones, yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. How do they play versus the emulation though? But is it reading it off the disc or the cartridge itself, or is it just gonna like rip it and become a ROM basically?
I'm pretty sure it's just emulating the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is the frame rate still gonna stay the same? That's another issue. So, but I mean, for it to be like a mini, I'd rather see Sega release something, kind of jump on the Nintendo bandwagon, and that's what I think this is kind of pretending to be.
So this is a third-party release of a Sega product.
Yeah, and it's going to be it's pretty much the same price as what the SNES Classic's going to be, with Nintendo being the official license. It has all these awesome games on it. I don't think there's one bad game in that whole collection.
Is this an official Sega device?
It's licensed by Sega, I think. So it's
like
they gave their okay for it.
It's like, how can they sell it without getting copyright infringement?
They've been no, it's not something that someone's just like making in his garage and be like, hey guys, buy this. No, it's something that
I usually blame China for all that problem.
It's something that it's a company called At Games. They've been doing these flashback systems for a long time, or these flashback systems have been out for a while, and they're really it's basically just like a stocking stuffer is what they're supposed to be. So I really wish that Sega would actually make something legit. The only thing that scares me is, like I was saying with price, you're looking at the same price for an SNES Classic, and of course you can't put in the cartridges over there. So I mean, if you look at this system that you could use cartridges, if you have the whole Sega library, I guess you can say you have the whole Sega library that you can play. But I'm sure if you have the whole Sega library, you have an actual Sega Genesis that you're playing them on.
Or 5. Just saying.
5.
And I'm sure there's other, like Retron or something that you could use to get HD emulation for those cartridges.
Yeah, and they make third-party Nintendo/Sega.
No, I think you hit it on the head before, though. It's to capture the eye of the not so savvy buyer of video gaming paraphernalia, and they just basically are like, well, I can't get my hands on an SNES. I might as well just get my little Bobby son of a gun.
Little Bobby son of a gun. That's a good name for your child.
This Genesis thing or whatever.
But no,
not a cool name.
I mean,
that'd be great.
To be honest, when I was actually looking into this, for some reason this one made the biggest deal, and I think a lot of people that were kind of talking about it thought it was an official Sega Genesis.
I thought it was when I heard about it.
That's what I thought. When I looked at the box, it looked different. It actually looked high quality versus the Flashback series that they've been releasing. And last year's Flashback was the first time they actually did let you put cartridges in, and they had wireless controllers and all that stuff as well.
Right.
But It was cheap, but I don't think it ran as bad as what they're saying this one is, unless no one really reviewed that one and they're finally looking at this. But for anyone else not really doing the research, if I just walked in a store and saw that, I'd be like, oh, whoa, hey, this is awesome. I'd buy it right away.
Yeah.
Thinking that it's an official, like, Sega Genesis Mini, like, and all the games are going to run perfectly. It's going to be just like the NES Classic or SNES Classic.
Get the buyer protection plan. Sure, that's
So, I mean, the biggest hint's going to be when there's 5+ in the store sitting on a shelf and you're going, wait a minute, why are you still here? But, so, what, I mean, can you guys think of any games that you would want on an official Sega Genesis Mini?
I think Golden Axe.
Well, that's on this. That has
like
been on.
all of them.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they're all on this.
But do they play in HD?
They do.
Okay.
Glitchy, but I think they play.
Well, I don't want glitchy. I paid for working product. I don't need to, like, sit there and have a problem.
See, I'm thinking like the SNES Classic and NES Mini where you have like a Konami game. Things like that. Like best from all the worlds that they can get. So I'm thinking like Turtles Hyperstone Heist or Castlevania Bloodlines.
Was Turtles in Time
A
on
Contra
the
Hard
Genesis?
Corpse. No, that was Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, yeah.
So
I want that.
But Jonah, have you had a chance to play Sega?
Never.
Never?
I never played the Genesis.
Never played the Genesis? Well, that was before your time, really. I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of...
My first console was the 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I bought the 64, I brought it home. John was so jealous.
He had to play it on my TV, though. He didn't have a TV yet.
It wasn't long before I got a TV after that.
He didn't think ahead. I got the TV first. So we played it in my room, and, it worked out.
So it was basically mine.
Yeah. So, but guys, if you're looking into this and you're thinking about getting it, do your research, talk to people, find out if it's for you. If not, go for the older flashback versions if you just want to play the games because they're cheaper. Or if you have a PS3, get this because this Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but this is, it comes with 40 games. It comes with all of them. It has all the ones that you really want to play. It doesn't have the Konami ones, like the Turtles, the Castlevanias, the Contras, but this has some fun 2D or 2-player stuff. It has the Golden Axes. It has the Streets of Rage, which are really fun, and all the Sonics. So, and that, like I said, on Amazon, I think I got for like $14 versus this $80 piece of garbage, as some people say.
Well, I mean, the price point right there in comparison, it's like they're not making new Genesis games. So you're playing the old games anyway. So $14 versus $80, well, it's like...
They might. They made a new SNES game.
SNES?
They did. They came out with an SNES game that didn't look so good, so I didn't even bother getting it.
Yeah. I actually pre-ordered it initially, but then it looked bad and I stopped.
Someone I'm sure will want to buy it for $300.
Yeah.
$300?
No,
I'm
$60.
just saying the future price.
It was $60 for like a SNES. I'm saying SNES now.
SNES.
I always say SNES. I've never said SNES.
I always say
saying
SNES.
it now. I don't know what happened.
You're programmed.
You're weird.
Yeah.
It's still the Matrix, Jonah.
Yeah.
You'll wake up tomorrow and it'll be different.
How dare you?
But I mean,
This is my life.
this thing, it's missing a lot of good games. It's got a lot of poor garbage filler. It's got some Game Gear games that you probably never even want to play anyway. So, where are the Turtles? Where are the Contras? Lion King even? Aladdin? Those games were awesome. Toe Jam and Earl.
Wait, Lion King?
Yeah.
I played Lion King on the 64. It was so hard. It was the hardest game I played in my life.
On the 64?
Yeah. Is that the same kind of thing?
No, this is Genesis. Genesis was a really fun game.
It's different.
It's good. I mean, I even like Jurassic Park. That game's awesome on the Sega Genesis. NBA Jam. I know it's kind of cross-platforming, but they could have at least tried to put that on here or in here, something like that. And yeah, but that's pretty much the end of my rant.
That's all he has to say about that.
But guys, final thoughts on that?
I wouldn't.
Golden Axe, Chris, it has it.
I still wouldn't buy it though because I could play a ROM or something on my computer and be happy with that.
For the novelty, I think its price should be more in line with what its old one is costs now, which is like I think $40.
Around there.
Well,
most old systems around 40.
Yeah, I mean if it wasn't $80, like $40, That's fine.
Like, if they don't want to put the effort into making a premium product, then just don't sell it at a premium price.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to trick people into thinking this is like an official Sega, fully made, like, really good, decent piece of hardware when it's really just another Flashback series, just this time with an HDMI cord. And I don't think that's a good reason to just up the price to $80 or $70 now that no one's buying it.
Don't support it. Don't support this kind of product. The cheap nothing. You're not really getting anything for this. This will probably give you headaches trying to play it. So if you do buy it just to like get something for somebody else on Christmas, you're just supporting a terrible person.
A terrible person.
You games.
You. But like I said, this one's awesome. I personally, I used to play ROMs, but I don't. I like collecting, so I actually have a lot of Sega games.
No, I don't even play games. I just get them.
And I know it's a big thing to have it in HD, because the best you can do on a Sega is RGB, which could be expensive to mod it, and then you got to get a RGB ready TV or monitor. But once you do that, it looks phenomenal. But however, this would actually be a cheaper way to go. But you know, like I said, like Chris said, there's ways around it if you really want to play that stuff, save your money with this Flashback series. But, guys, let us know what you thought. Did you guys get one? Are you guys thinking about getting one? I know it just released.
Is it already out?
It's out.
Oh.
It's out. There's reviews out there. We've been reading them all. A lot of them, I don't think there's one that says anything good about it. It's. I think it was more of a letdown, I think, because I remember this thing being hyped for a long while now.
IGN's probably got something good about it. Just like a hype video.
Oh, I read that. It was mediocre.
Yeah.
That's what their review was. You know, as a collector, this is something I was actually looking at, and I was really anxious to find out what it is, or like how good it was going to be. Because, like I said, at first, when I first saw it, I really thought it was a Sega version of the NES Classic or the SNES Classic, but it's just another Flashback HD series. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for something really good. I mean, there are decent games on here, but like Jonah was saying, if they're going to play crappy, like if there's frame rate issues, you don't want any of that.
Nope.
And they might. I mean, a lot of these games, like they're gonna have the RGB.
I don't want to have to take
role-playing
a screwdriver to my stupid controller to get the batteries out. Neither. That's dumb.
And I think there's a big market for like official classic consoles, like the SNES, NES, and the Neo Geo.
Well, the people who grow up with them are our age.
Yeah.
And we all presumably have jobs that, you know, with expendable income.
But like, I don't understand why Sega didn't want to go through with it on their own. That's one of the problems I have with it, because I'm sure they could probably do better than that games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're really looking for that market. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just not paying attention.
They just don't want the money.
They just don't want the money. They
love losing money.
So much money. They love moving it. They're like, nope, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Just buy that. Screw it. So, but yeah, no, it's a big letdown. I was really looking forward to it to see if it was anything different, but unfortunately it's not. So, yeah. But guys, let us know what you think down in the comments. Sega!